Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we are going to get some updates here at production on plants. I am standing in production number 2 where we have got some annuals that are putting on a beautiful color. So we're going to walk through, take a little peek at these guys. Then we're going to head down to the new greenhouse because my folks are getting geared up to begin potting up a ton of perennials for retail. So if you need a plant fix, this is definitely going to be it. We have a mix of the plants in here are going to be the ones for online. These will be the very first ones that get shipped out of here. And then the perennials for today that we're going to be potting will be for retail. So we've got a little bit of everything today. Just wanted to give you an update on plants and loads of beautiful color. Again, we are standing in production number 2. We call it production 2 because it was the second production house that was built up here. Everything that you see on the floor are Proven Winner Grande containers. So when we say Grande, what that means is the size of the container. This is a Grande plant, Grande container. Think of it as as a coffee, right? So it fits in your hand like a coffee cup. These will be what all of our annuals that ship online will be that size. I know some people have had some questions about what size they are. That is the size. Now, how do we determine when they are ready to ship? It's all about plant growth and root growth. We want to send you a plant that is nice and full. So for example, here we have the Supertunia Vista Jazzberry. Nope, sorry, this is bubblegum. Jazzberry was right next door. So you have got a really nice tight plant up top, but what I want to see is some root growth down here at the bottom. And look, we have got a little bit of roots showing right here. Because, so let's say bubblegum here is going to California. We need to make sure that that root growth is nice and developed. So as it bumps along UPS through the route to California, that it stays nice and secure in that pot and has a great root system when it gets to you, because that is what makes the difference. Now let's look at some color. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, so here we have these are some of the Selenias. These are the new begonias that are Proven Winner is adding to their line this year. This is apricot. So let me show you the tag because I know that y'all do enjoy a good tag. These are annuals. Look at that apricot. Is it not gorgeous? We have some pinks and a little bit of orange in there, rather. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. Now, for this plant, right, I need it to get, clearly, it needs to fill out some more and get nice and thick and bushy. That would not do very well going to California right now. Next door, we have the Selenia Chocolate Orange. Look at this, really nice dark foliage on it and a beautiful flower. Now, that is definitely in the orangey family. I wouldn't say it's Clemson orange, but it definitely has those orange tones. And I love how it has that nice, beautiful dark foliage. You can really see, like right here, the difference between the chocolate orange and the apricot in that foliage. Gorgeous, stunning. We will get to some more begonias that are on the other side here in just a minute. Petunias, right? So many people love petunias, and we have the, this is the improved Bermuda Beach. We have got 1 or 2 of them that are flowering. Look at how massive that flower is. I mean, it is huge, y'all. Bermuda Beach pairs really nicely with the new Saffron Finch. This is the new introduction for this year from the Proven Winners. Last year we trialed it in our gardens and absolutely loved it. It is a true yellow petunia. It retains this yellow. It does not take on hints of green and is absolutely gorgeous. It is a great performer. Has the vigor of maybe say like Bordeaux, Picasso in purple, right? Those kind of petunias, not nearly as vigorous as a Vista, but still has a nice vigor to it. Then we come down through some more different petunias here that are not quite yet blooming. They bloom at different times. We have Mini Vista Scarlet, which is such a fun one. This was a new one a couple of years ago, but just a really nice red to it, kind of a brighter red, not nearly as deep as, say, like the black cherry, but it is that Mini Vista. So it has a little bit of a smaller bloom on it, maybe a little bit bigger than, say, a Calibrachoa, but it definitely has a nice vigor to it. You can see that plant is nice and tight. It will trail, but not anything like your traditional super petunias, right? So there we go on that. Let's see, we're gonna spin just a little bit here. We've got the grasses that are going. We come into the salvias. The salvias are doing quite nicely, nice and thick. No flowers on these guys yet. On the pentas, we've got like 1 or 2 cute little blooms here and there. That's the great thing about pentas, is once they start blooming, they do not stop. They just will bloom their sweet little heads off. There's a great one down here where you can see, start to see like how big that these heads are gonna be. So these are called the Sunstar pentas, because you've got that flower head is just a ton of these little star-shaped flowers all clumped together. And they come in, like this is a red. Let's see, we're gonna back up just a little bit right here. So you can see that that is red, and then there is a lavender right there that is starting to, you know, starting to show some color here. So those are great. I love those. Great for the heat. Japanese beetles don't like them. It is perfect. And then all the alyssum. This is what the sweet alyssum makes the greenhouse smell so incredibly delicious. This is White Knight, just a beautiful plant. And then we go into like Snow Princess and Blushing Princess, you name it. We've got all the royalty here at Creekside. Then we're coming down to the Bidens. So this is Campfire Flame, which is a really, sorry, incoming dog, which is a really nice orange color to it. Great for those early containers. Bidens do really well in cooler temperatures. Goldilocks Rocks is getting ready to flower. It's got some buds on it. And then of course the new Campfire Marshmallow, so sweet. I love this. Reminds me of like a little daisy. We're gonna use this for the wedding. So this will be a lot of fun. And then y'all, look at this new Calibrachoa. Here we go. So this is the, let me show you the tag. This is the Super Bells Double Redstone. Look at that beautiful, let me get in here to this one. Look at that beautiful flower. It is a double bloom. It has a nice red with that yellow edging. Oh my gosh. So if you like the Calibrachoas, the Super Bells, they are wonderful for those drier conditions. So your Super Bells do not like to have wet feet. They tend to like to have drier conditions, which for me with clay soil means that they don't perform really well in the landscape. I want to put them in my hanging baskets, my containers, my hay racks, those kinds of things. We tend to grow them very much on the dry side because they hate wet feet. They will rot. So if you've had problems before with Calibrachoas not doing well, maybe you're giving them too much water. So that is the big difference for me as far as growing a Calibrachoa, a Super Bells versus a petunia. Here we have, all of these are the pink cashmere. So the Super Bina pink cashmere, the new one that is that gorgeous, really soft pink. They are growing quite nicely, but they're not quite ready to ship yet. So we've got a little bit more time on those guys. As we move on down, here we come back to the begonias on the other side, and we have the Selenia Yellow. Grew this one last year, and it was without a doubt one of my favorites. Has a nice mounding habit to it, sun or shade conditions, and a true really soft yellow. It's not too harsh, it's not too bright, just a really soft palette that works with your pinks and your blues and your whites and even your other yellows. Now we're coming down here. They They look similar, but for me, they behave differently. This is the Double Delight Primrose. It is still a begonia, a much softer yellow, I would say more like a cream than compared to the Selenia yellow. But the Double Delight Primrose, on the tag it says full to part sun. If you're in warmer conditions like I am, you might find with the Double Delight series that they need a little bit more shade. So next door we have the brand new one, the Double Delight Apple Blossom, which is a nice soft pink. These do well for me in morning sun, afternoon shade, or filtered sun. I originally one time had it where it got morning shade and afternoon sun, and they fried. I moved them, their sun conditions reversed, and they absolutely flourished. I love them because not only are they mounded, but they're trailing as well. Gorgeous in containers. Oh, absolutely just stunning. And then, oh, the Terenia. The Terenia and the Nemesia is blooming. So this is the Catalina Pink. Y'all, these blooms on this thing are absolutely huge for a Terenia. So this is the Catalina Pink, which is a great mounded trailing plant that does sun to shade. So the Catalina series does sun or shade. So you like this nice kind of a soft pink. And then next door we have the Catalina, this is the White Linen, which is just a pure white flower. It does have just a little hint of yellow in it. It too can do sun or shade. These are the ones that I love to use either in hanging baskets because they trail containers, right? They will trail over. They make excellent ground covers. So I will put this, I think my plan is for the Catalina Pink, I'm gonna put it underneath some of my David Austin roses because it will stay relatively low. The height on it is like 8 to 12 inches, right? So not crazy tall, but spreads and then will hang over my wall. The bumblebees, the honeybees love Terenia. They go after it like crazy, and being sun or shade is extremely very, very helpful. And then there is here, I don't know if I can get to it, y'all, but there is the Summer Wave Large Violet. I don't know, can you see that? I don't want to fall on top of some plants. Gorgeous, deep, deep purple. And then look, the Nemesia, right? So we have the Sunsatia Coconut, which is that beautiful white, and then the Aromanth Mulberry. If you're looking for some early containers that you want to do something where the plants can handle those cool temperatures, right? Even the lower 30s, then your Nemesia is going to be ones for you, and they smell divine. Look at that beautiful flower head. So that is the Sunsatia Coconut. And then next door, we have the Aromanth Mulberry. So there you go on that. Beautiful colors on it. And just like I said, smells absolutely divine. So that is kind of an update here. With the hanging baskets, I can see some plants starting to show themselves over the rims. So that is always very, very encouraging. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move on down here to production, where there truly is production going on, because they are getting ready, maybe have already started, I'm not sure where they are on the process of potting up a lot of perennials. I also want to show you, last week we did the video kind of like the day in the life, and we kept waiting on the Pleasant View truck. So getting our annuals from Pleasant View Gardens, and the truck did not come that day, it came the next day. We got 1 or 2 annuals. So I'm going to show you those right quick, and then we'll get into here to the production side of it. They're getting some pots filled up and they're coming on down the line. But the annuals that came last week from Pleasant View, we got them both for retail and for online. Roughly each of these trays is going to hold like 84 plants, right? So we got just 1 or 2 trays of plants. So anything from pentas, salvias, you've got the coffee cups, elephant ears back there. lantana and impatiens and coleus, begonias, verbena. Then we come down here into what I call petunia land and calibrachoa land, right? So tons of plants. So this whole order from the tags all the way down, that was 161 trays. So my math people, 161 times 84, that's the number of plants right there. Those are for the garden center. And then coming from this side all the way down, that was 91 trays, and those are for the online sales. I mean, just tons of plants, y'all, tons of plants. So what we're doing now is the production here for the perennials. We are running the premium 1 gallon premium winter pots. So Jerry is back there feeding the line. What? Nothing. He's glad production's finally got started today. It took a while to get here. We're at probably, I don't know, 10:30 in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, and we got production running. So he is feeding the pots, and we are doing all of them for the garden center. This is what we call a premium 1 gallon container. It's a true gallon. So if you look right there, it is 1.0 gallon, 3.78 liter. They do have what we call it. Why should they care if it is a true gallon? Well, I'm going to tell you why I think they should care, and then you can tell me if I'm wrong. How about that?
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
We're going to do a little test here. So the reason that you should care that it is a true gallon and not what we call a trade gallon, which is smaller.
We have some trade gallons.
We do. Don't ask me. Somebody asked me earlier on another video, why is there 2 sets of gallons? Is a gallon not a gallon? Well, one would think, but welcome to the horticultural world, y'all. So we are potting perennials in this, right? So the more, this is what I tell people all the time, when you're buying a perennial and you're buying a shrub, you are buying your root system. Yes, you want the top to look good, but depending on the time of year, you're like right now, a hosta. You see nothing of a hosta. But what happens is you're buying that root system. So when you have a true gallon or a gallon container compared to, say, a quart or a grande, you're getting a bigger plant because of the bigger root system.
Yeah.
Healthier root system.
Yeah, you really care about the root system with perennials.
And shrubs.
And shrubs, you know,
Yeah.
But when we're talking about perennials today.
We are.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah. So, you know, instead of just, you know, a little bitty sale pack or something like that full of stuff.
Right. Somebody had said one time on a comment about us putting like the grasses in gallons, and so we have some of our annual grasses, the real vigorous ones, in gallons, and somebody made a comment about that their garden center, they just buy the grasses in like a grande size, so that way they're not paying for all the extra dirt. Well, you're not paying for the extra dirt, you're paying for a bigger plant, because when we sell those gallon grasses, you are getting 3-4 times the plant that you are getting in a smaller container. So just remember,
what we would do would be all true gallon. Last year I had a bunch of, you know, tray gallons. You can finish the plant faster in the tray gallon, and there is less soil, and it's only like cents.
right?
You know, so, but it just makes a prettier plant, a bigger, vigorous, more vigorous plant in the true gallon, I find, and it goes into your garden ready to go, because we want you to be successful.
Yes.
And have a large root system.
Right.
You know, the quart's good too. I mean, because the plants that we're taking out of plugs, but we got a lot of bare roots.
We do.
Today.
We do.
It has to go in a bigger container.
Right, we can't squeeze that bare root into a smaller container. So speaking of, so what they're doing first is Alyssa is popping trays. So not all of the plants will come as bare roots. Sometimes you get them in these cell trays. So we've got some Brunera back here. She's working on Pulmonaria right now. This is, I want to say, Heaven Sent. There's all sorts of different kinds of things in there. And then she's got some butterfly bushes down here, some buddleia as well. So those are gonna come to us as plugs, liners. And then down here, you can see what we did is just filled up the conveyor belts. So everything's filled, and then everything that you see in a box, kind of where Brenna is, those are all bare root. So we're gonna find a box that is open, and maybe, and so that way I can show it to you. So here we have, yes, this is a Veronica, and you'll notice on this side right here, so this is our name, Wizard of Oz. It is a Veronica, and it says grade 1. If you're buying bare roots online, like as you can as a you know, just as a retail gardener, you can buy, there are certain companies that will send you bare roots, and they're gonna be different sizes. Grade 1 is gonna be your biggest. So you can see here that Walters has packed them in these containers. It's got some pine shavings, some like sawdust shavings. This absorbs the extra moisture so that your plants don't rot. And then we're gonna try to find, all right, so this is, oh, no, Brenda, it's not a root. So here we have a whole grade 1 bare root of the Wizard of Oz Veronica. This is huge, so this will fit quite nicely in those bigger containers, and there's 25 in a box. So we go through, we find them, we plant them. This will be just right here at the top, will be at the surface of the soil, and all of this will be down here in the pot, right? So here we're doing dianthus. So we just have a system of, we plant them. Cece was getting ready to come back with the tags. So on this side, we have the Fruit Punch Classic Coral, and we're actually gonna continue that with the Classic Coral, and then they're gonna go ahead and punch the tags onto the containers. That's what Jackson is doing down here. Because these are for the retail garden center, we go ahead and come through, see we have Paint the Town Fancy here. We've got a little bit of a bloom on that, but we go ahead and punch each container, so that way when our customers are checking out, so Jackson uses the little gun and shoots them, so that way you've got the tag hanging on there. When they check out, they will scan that, and then there you go. What we're gonna do today is all these guys are going outside. It's the beautiful thing about living in North Carolina. So they're gonna go out the conveyor belt. They're going to come down through the conveyor belt, down the line. I don't know exactly how this is gonna work, so don't ask me because we haven't started that yet. Come down the line, and then they're gonna go all onto the pad right here. That is where we used to grow mums. We will grow mums later again, but right now it's time for perennials. So they will come out, they will all get grown outside. That is, again, like I said, the beautiful thing about growing in North Carolina. Here we are at the end of February, and these babies can go outside. It really is nice outside because you've got great root growth without a ton of top foliage growth, right? So they're gonna be more acclimated, so when our customers come and buy them, they can go straight into their garden with no transitional period. They're not gonna go into shock because they've been outside, as opposed to being grown in the greenhouse where it's been nice and toasty and warm, and then they get shocked and they go outside. Maybe they're a little bit ahead of schedule as far as like flowering or that kind of thing. So then being able to grow them outside, for us, we have found produces the best plant. So certainly we have some perennials that we got in January that are in the greenhouse. They too will be going outside here really quickly, probably within the next week or so, because we got all of those annuals that have got to go into the greenhouse, and the perennials are going outside. So that is kind of what we are doing today. We are going to be working on this, and then we are going to do our certification as a staff to be the Certified Garden Center for Proven Winners, right? So we do this every single year. Training that Proven Winners sends out, so that way all of our staff is up to date on the new introductions and the new programs that Proven Winners does. So if you go to provenwinners.com and you search by your zip code, you will be able to find garden centers that are close to you, that are have gone through that certification process. We do it ever since we started growing proven winner plants. We have been a certified garden center, so we will continue that. So we're going to have lunch at the house and get our certification done, and then come back up here and continue on the production. So today and this week, the name of the game is production. Garden center's all ready and very happy. Just have to do a little tweaking for Saturday on that, but yeah, we're gonna be potting up a lot of plants this week. As always, we hope you found this fun, informative, and inspirational. Thanks so much for all your support and coming along this fun, crazy ride that is a Creekside Nursery. We appreciate you. Have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.